The second wave of the coronavirus pandemic has devastated India with almost 4 lakh positive cases being reported every day. It is the highest daily cases in the world. Among all the grim news about COVID deaths, oxygen shortage, statewide lockdowns, and a terrible new variant that poses a global threat, we might have also come across the raging debates and discussions about vaccine patent waivers and TRIPS agreement. The Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, or the TRIPS agreement, came into effect in 1995, and its main goal is to set global minimum standards for the protection of intellectual property rights and ensure that all the members of the World Trade Organization follow them. They made the patent duration a minimum of 20 years even for pharmaceutical products and processes. Many developing nations resisted this resolution because they feared that this might prevent their access to essential medicines. And their fear did come true during the AIDS crisis in Africa. The international patent laws made it almost impossible for the poor to get access to life-saving medicines because it was too expensive. Tenu Abafia, a UNDP specialist on intellectual property rights and AIDS, noted that powerful commercial interests often exert great influence on their governments' position at the World Trade Organization. This shows us that vested economic interests were more important than saving millions of lives. But as a solution to the crisis, a few exceptions in the TRIPS agreement called the TRIPS flexibilities were highlighted, which allows the members to issue compulsory licensing during a national emergency or a pandemic. Compulsory licensing is when a government allows local manufacturers to produce a patented product without the consent of the patent owner. But even this was subjected to criticism, with many non-government medical groups and anti-aid activists calling the agreement unworkable. But this exception is in the spotlight today as it is using this clause. India and South Africa, two of the worst affected countries in their respective continents, put forward a proposal at the World Trade Organization in October last year to waive the patent restrictions. The waiver is for the production of COVID-19 vaccines and other products and technologies required to fight the pandemic. So why is this waiver important now, and how will it help fight the pandemic? By easing the patent regulations, countries say they can ramp up vaccine manufacturing and can also make vaccines more affordable for its people. And this is very important for countries like India and South Africa, where COVID-19 is wreaking havoc. They don't have enough vaccines and are also buying vaccines at a higher rate than most countries. For example, AstraZeneca's Covishield, manufactured by Serum Institute of India, is sold at a rate of 300 rupees per dose to government hospitals, which comes to about $4.1 and 600 rupees per dose to private hospitals, which is close to $8.2. And these numbers are in stark contrast to the EU, where the same vaccine is given for $2.15. South Africa, on the other hand, is buying a dose for $5.25, which is 2 times more than that of the EU. But apart from the prices, Western countries are also hoarding COVID-19 vaccines. North American countries have enough doses to vaccinate its population twice. In the US, they have plenty of vaccines, but their appointments are going unfilled, which is undoubtedly criminal indifference to the human crisis that many of us are facing. So when we see all of this, it may seem like invoking the TRIPS agreement to waive the patent rights for these vaccines is the most obvious course of action. But there are other problems with this waiver. So far, most of the World Trade Organization members have supported the proposal. Even US, China, France and Australia, who were at first against this waiver, have now extended their support. The European Union is at least ready to give it a thought, but there is still a strong bunch who are not willing to flinch. Like Germany, who hands down said no, not gonna happen. And that's where the issue lies. If the proposal should come into effect, it must be passed unanimously. All the 164 members of the WTO should support it, and a single no is enough to reject the proposal. And here's a fact. The WTO has never succeeded in reaching such a consensus since the foundation of the TRIPS agreement. And even if we as countries decide to set aside our differences and decide to come together for the greater good of humanity, by the time they reach a conclusion, such a proposal wouldn't even be necessary. Vaccines are the result of years and years of research, so COVID vaccines definitely have more scope for research.
And for pharma companies, patenting is a way by which they make money. Money which is usually pumped back into more research leading to a positive feedback. While a good portion of it is a part of its profits. We can't blame them for that. They have spent millions of dollars on research, so they have to make profits. It's pure business. So many critics believe infringe on this right then will in the long term discourage pharmaceutical companies from rapidly responding to future global health threats with large research investments. The biggest argument against the waiver is the fact that not every manufacturer is equipped to produce all the vaccines, especially mRNA vaccines like that of Pfizer and Moderna. Unlike other vaccines that insert an inactivated virus into our body, mRNA vaccines teach our cells to make a protein that triggers an immune response which produces antibodies that protect us from getting infected by the real virus. And it would take months or even years to set up the technology. French President Emmanuel Macron said manufacturers in places like Africa are not now equipped to make COVID-19 vaccines, so donations of shots from wealthier countries should be given priority instead. At present, tech transfer and partnerships by pharma companies like AstraZeneca is what is helping manufacturers like Serum produce the vaccines. And this raises concerns about our next problem, safety. Pharma companies fear that a waiver could result in quality, safety, and efficacy issues and possibly even counterfeits.
The thing that's holding things back in this case is not intellectual property. There's not like some idle vaccine factory with regulatory approval that makes magically safe vaccines. You've got to do the trials on these things, and every manufacturing process has to be looked at in a very careful way.
The International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations, IFPMA, said that patents are not the real challenges in increasing vaccine production. It's trade barriers, bottlenecks in supply chains, scarcity of raw materials and ingredients, and vaccine hoarding by rich countries. Even wastage of vaccines at every level is a reason. India has shockingly recorded a wastage of 4.6 million vaccine doses since the beginning of the vaccination drive till April 11th, Tamil Nadu being the highest with 12% wastage. So the scarcity of vaccines does not only lie in scaling up production, but also in reducing wastage that can be accomplished with better planning by the governments, be it in central, state or local, by health institutions and personnel, be it in public or private sector. IFPMA said a waiver is a simple but the wrong answer to what is a complex problem. Waiving patents of COVID-19 vaccines will not increase production nor provide practical solutions needed to battle this global health crisis. So many believe that what the governments and pharma giants should focus on are effective measures that can help increase the availability of vaccines even before the World Trade Organization gives the green light for the IPR waiver. And what we as citizens should do is follow the WHO protocols to save ourselves and our loved ones.